What's going on, y'all? This officially is my college experience, part 7, but this is more so my regrets as opposed to stories. The regrets, first and foremost. This kind of lets you know, kind of into my thinking a little bit. The fact that my most thing I regret the most isn't not doing as well as as I could in the earlier years, not failing out sophomore year, not being more social, but that I didn't get as many girls as I would like to have gotten. I only had sex with one. Well, as far as at the college, only one college girl, and then the other girl, she didn't go to school, at least in my school. So yeah, I mean, I let my fear of rejection kind of dictate that part of my college experience. All my friends around, or the other guys I knew, they was just, to them it was the easiest thing in the world to get some girls on college, on campus. To them it was like, oh, if a guy can't get girls on college, on a college campus, that's the saddest thing in the world. Like who can't? And I just sit there quiet like, oh yeah, you right. And then just go right back to being quiet. I think my college experience would have been a lot better had I had some girls to hold me down, or just spend time with. Yeah. Anyway, enough on that. Not being more social. Like I said, I joined my freshman year. I joined 2 groups: NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, and the Underground Railroad, which is a group pretty much made up by a bunch of friends of mine that we went to the school. We got together and we made that group. I was told about it by a friend of mine, my boy Bert. Unfortunately, it was just so unorganized. I just couldn't go back there. I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like we go there and argue about what we're gonna do when we get there. Like that's ridiculous. And it was the first year of the group, so it was definitely a lot of bumps in the road. So, but I just wasn't interested in being part of a startup, so to speak. I wanted to be a part of something that was already going on. So I kind of had going to NSBE, which I don't necessarily know how long they had been around, but everything was organized. They knew exactly why they were there. Even though I wasn't even an engineering major, they accepted me in there, and it was way more organized. They had a clear understanding of what they did. They had trips that they went on. I mean, it was a whole bunch of things going on. Then I go to this other group, and we're arguing about what we're gonna do there. We're arguing about what we're gonna say there, and I'm like, that makes no type of sense. So I stopped going to that one, and even eventually I stopped going to NSBE because I'm like, I'm not an engineer. Why am I going to the National Society of Black Engineers for? I feel like that was a mistake on my part. That's just my introverted personality taking over and doing what it do. I met a lot of friends in that organization. I still see them. I speak to them today. If I could go back and do it all again, I'd probably join even more groups. I've been a lot more social, met more people, and then, who knows? I could have used my connections to have a lot better life than I have now, because that's how people really get jobs. People think that you get jobs, you have some degree, you walk in there, but it's like, yeah, you can have your degree, you could have a bunch of minors, you could have a 4.0 GPA, but you still have no experience. Jobs want to hire people who they don't have to train, because you have to pay people to train them. So like, I have to pay you to teach you how to do this job. Why not just hire somebody who already knows how to do the job, don't have to pay him to train, and they could just get started right away. I probably would have just been more social, not only just joining these different clubs, just more social in general. Like, even though I got a naturally quiet personality, that's no excuse. I speak when I want to speak, or I could have approached more people and been friends with them, or the people that I did speak to, I could have spoke to them more, hung out with them more, instead of just going off on my own and doing my own thing, staying in my comfort zone. Part of growing is getting out of your comfort zone, experiencing different things, experiencing different people. The most I did that was when I was smoking, and I would meet the different smokers, and that's not something that's gonna take you far in life. Or the different smokers you meet, you never know. Now the weed industry is taking over, so it could help me now, but for what I was trying to do, it wasn't helping me at all. Just network the network. Probably go to other different colleges, instead of just going there to try to meet girls or go to parties. Try to network on other college campuses and see what that got. I mean, networking is probably the most important thing in life for getting anywhere. If you know the right people want to hire people they know. Yeah, I mean, you could look at people's resumes online, and well, not online, but when they submit them to whatever company. But if somebody at the company says, hey, a friend of mine, they got a degree there, and he's a really good person, that person has a way better chance of getting a job than somebody who has an incredible resume. But we don't know. Like, you could be an asshole. You may take away from the work environment. You may have these great credentials, but again, if people don't like working with you, none of that matters. And then you have somebody who doesn't have half your credentials, but he knows somebody at the company, he or she knows somebody at the company, and they're like, he's a really good guy. They're gonna trust their coworker's word over some resume. That's just human nature. That's just what it is. So again, networking can take you anywhere you want to go. I'd say that's more important than GPA. It's more important than grade. It's more important than your major. It's more important than your minors. It's more important than even internships. Internships get you in the door, but if you're not networking while you're in that internship, meeting people, having a great attitude, showing people that you care about what you're doing, that, you're showing up early, leaving late, then you can get a job. If you just go there, do exactly what you're asked, don't really speak to people like that, expect a job, that's not going to happen. And speaking on internships, I couldn't do any internships because my grades were so horrible my sophomore year. Before that, I was at around a 2.8, which is kind of the same thing I was at in high school. That sophomore year was so terrible, I think it dropped me down to like a 2.2. And GPA is real easy for it to fall, and it's real hard for it to pick back up. You needed like a 2.5 to do an internship, and at a 2.2, couldn't do it. By the time I had pulled my GPA up, it was like senior year. It was time to graduate. Like, that's how difficult it is to pull up your GPA. I feel like grades and GPA matters while you're in college, because once you graduate, nobody's ever asked me my GPA at all. Networking would be the number one thing, and where you interned. If you at least interned, let's say you interned at a bank, then you want to try to go get a job at another bank. If you could say, well, I interned at a bank and I know how to do X, Y, and Z, that's better than you just saying, well, hey, I have this degree and I have a 4.0 GPA and I did sports and I was in this group and that group. They don't care about that stuff. They just want to know if you can help them run the company. Maybe I'm not talking about from like a management standpoint, but just if you're capable of doing your job. That's all they want to know. Any experience is better than no experience. So an internship could have put me over the top, and who knows what I could have been doing with an economics degree and an internship and some good networking. Who knows where I would be right now? Well, like I said, I don't know. Everything happens for a reason. It turned out that maybe economics wasn't necessarily where my future was headed. I thought about going back and getting a master's degree and eventually a PhD, but I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I was going for. I didn't want to be like undergrad where I just kind of winged it. Even economics, that was just off a whim. I just kind of read all the different majors, what it was about, what you could do with it. And economics was like the most versatile. Every kind of business could use an economist. For me, that it just seemed the most logical thing to do. It wasn't something I was passionate about, something that made crazy amounts of money, or something that guaranteed me a job once I got out. There's no guarantee for that unless you know somebody, if you network the right way. But, anyway, the most important thing is just, the biggest regret, I should say, is not being strategic with my time. I said that in the last video. I'm reiterating it. That's how important it is. Just be strategic, man. From freshman year, at least start the network. Start looking into different internships. Because if you like me and you don't know what you want to do with your life, an internship at least gets you. At least you can be in the company and realize, okay, well, I tried. At least I'm going in some direction. And if I don't like it, okay, I can switch directions. I'm only a freshman. I have 4 years to figure it out. Well, not figure it out. Hopefully, you want to figure it out in like those first 2 years. Anything past that, a lot of people. I know some people their major was undeclared going into like junior, senior year. That's ridiculous. You're gonna be in college like 6-7 years messing around like that. Because the classes that you need to pass, you need to pass the basic classes, the intermediate classes, then the advanced classes. And if you start like your junior year, first of all, you're gonna be taking classes with freshmen. Who wants to be the old guy or old girl in the classes with freshman kids? Strategize. That's important not only in school but also in life. Strategy and planning is more important than anything. And most people just wing it. They want to freestyle. They think they're gonna just be able to scramble their way through life, and life's gonna teach you a very hard lesson that it don't work that way. You're gonna get to a point once you realize that freestyling and winging it don't work. You're gonna hit a wall like, damn, maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was. And then once you realize you're not as smart as you thought you was, that's really you can start to lose confidence even in yourself and your ability to weather the storm. Having great work habits, having a strategy in place, planning ahead, the same thing, but networking. These are things that can carry you all the way through college. And you'll never be behind. You'll never have to scramble like I did. Don't be like me. Don't fuck around till the last minute and then try to make things happen. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off my last few years of college. Every report card was like a stressful time for me because I'm like, oh man, I need to pass these classes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to go through the stress and heartache and just the mental gymnastics of having to hope and pray that you pass certain classes. Even though I was able to get it done, it's not a great way to move. Things could have been I could have made things a lot easier for myself by, like I said, planning ahead and also not slacking off. Sophomore year, man. Sophomore year was horrible, but I was slacking off way before. I was slacking off from, to be honest, I was slacking off probably since I graduated third grade. So fourth grade, fourth grade all the way to I graduated college, I was slacking off. It carries me in through life. Like certain habits just become, certain characteristics, if you do them long enough, become habits. Certain habits become personality traits. I'm at a place now where I'm kind of doing the same thing, even with this music. It's like I wait till the last minute, try to scramble and rush through it. And maybe not necessarily with music. I've been good to kind of plan ahead with that. But as far as these videos and producing content, I was supposed to launch in September. You know, now it's looking like I'm not even going to do that because I've been procrastinating a lot of different things. So, like I said, if you're the type of person who does this through college, you're gonna do this in your life. You're gonna do this with your family. You're gonna do this at your job. You're gonna do it. You know, you're not gonna be strategic and plan ahead and have a great work ethic at work and then not be that same way with your family. You're not gonna do that with your family and not be that in life in general or wherever. You pretty much are who you are. So if you're lazy, you procrastinate, you're gonna be that all across the board. And trust me, you don't want to be known as the person who is just unreliable or somebody who people don't really enjoy working with because they feel like they're doing more work just to help you catch up. So anyway, that was my college experience, my college regrets. I'm probably going to have more stories for y'all about my times in college as I start to remember them. I haven't thought about a lot of these things in a long time. So there's probably so much more I'm not telling y'all. But, you know, it's just I just don't remember at this point. I got to get together with some friends and talk about these things. Matter of fact, next time, I'm definitely going to link up with friends and we're going to do videos and put them out talking about our college experience, the different things that we went through, just to give y'all more of a wider scope. Have some of my friends give you their college experience, how things went for them, how they went about doing it. This is just my personal experience of the way that I do things. And, you know, you can learn from it, take the good, apply it, take the bad, don't repeat it. Make college a lot easier on yourself by planning ahead, don't slack off, networking, interning, just have fun. That's really it. I've been shooting videos all morning. I'm tired. But anyway, that's my college experience. Holla at your boy. Drop a comment. Let me know some of y'all college experiences. The way you weathered through college. Was you like me? Did you procrastinate? Or was you the type of person who you was about your business the first day you walked in there? Let me know. Peace.